Hi, and welcome to Lilith Stay Out.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's installment of the Outlanders here on Roll With It. We'll go ahead and hop in here tonight with few, uh, with a quick recap of last session. Following some investigation done by various different parties, you guys finally reconvened um, inadvertently with Ulin as the four party members who had stayed together for the most part sent a letter to Hulin indicating they had uncovered some information, and Kelnoran, having done some of his own investigation and talked with Hulin earlier that day, was indicated that he would come back at a different time frame when Hulin had an opportunity to do some of his own setting up, so to speak, some of his own investigation. And the five of you reconvened and gave your various bits and pieces of information, which, for the most part, were very similar, with the two groups having slightly different um, either conclusions or additional pieces to add here or there. And Poulin then indicated that, based off of all of the information that you had gathered for him and the uncovering of this potential conspiracy inside the city, and it being potentially further along than he was comfortable for, had worked it out so that way you guys were able to extend your stay inside the city without having to worry about the expiration of the permits that you guys were given upon entering. So you guys, until you have finished your investigation or until Hulin advises you differently, are able to stay in the city as long as you like. The same curfew restrictions were still applying, same rules and whatnot. But Hulin asked for you guys to continue with your investigation, which led to another gathering of the groups of individuals going different ways. Some sitting down to speak with the other succubus that Rebecca had referred you to, and then another group heading off towards the warehouse at a different time frame to kind of scout that out and see what was going on there. Lilith going into said warehouse by herself, and leaving Rowan and Kovac to wander the dockside by themselves. And then later on in the afternoon, Rith, Kelnoran, and Rowan all went to cafe to go ahead and meet with the succubi, who provided them with a little bit more information as far as to the confirmation of the twins' mansion location, the item that they were looking for to disenchant in order to release her from her servitude, as well as some potential locations where that locket or item might be. In exchange for releasing her, she has agreed to give you two potential locations for some Damon Fay bases. So, following that, when Lilith had regrouped with you guys, Kelnorn was not very happy with the fact that she had gone into the warehouse by herself, and she then indicated it was all part of her master plan and immediately left in order to get eyes on the warehouse once again. And Kovac is tailing her, I believe, a few minutes behind. I think is because he had stuck around, but he's a couple minutes behind as she is cruising through the city by herself, and Rith and Rowan and Kelnoran, you guys have finished your meeting with the succubus. So we will go ahead and pick up with Lilith. So, Lilith, you have raced out of the cracked mug and started making your way towards the docks outside of the city.
Full dashes.
Full dashes, okay. So you are cruising. Kovac, you are following her at a standard pace.
Well, was she in sight?
Well,
Or am I just kind of guessing where she's going?
you knew where she was going. Like she was heading back to the warehouse. You've been there, so you know
Yeah, no,
exactly where she was.
I know where she's going, but like, did I see her?
Go ahead and give me a perception check, since she's full out dashing out. 14. It's hard to tell, but you do see. You think you do see a familiar white outfit, just because she's the only person of her size in the city. So, darting kind of around some of the hips and legs of people, but it kind of is. It's maneuvering in between, and it's a good distance off and pulling away. She's moving fast.
Well, I guess Kovac will half-heartedly attempt to follow at that speed. Then, see if that actually is her.
Okay. All right. So, Lilith, full out dashing. It normally takes you about. It probably took you about 35 to 40 minutes to get there previously. Maneuvering through the afternoon populace here and whatnot. Probably takes you about 20-ish or so. Just give me a constitution check as you're trying to keep up a full speed. Okay, 15. All right. So yeah, you're able to dash through the city. Like I said, probably takes you about 20 minutes to make it to the docks area again.
So what she'll do when she gets there is she knows where the warehouse is, and kind of the layout of the area around the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna find say a. Let me look at the map again to get a better look. So where's the warehouse on the map?
On the map,
Here.
it is right over
That
there.
building there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what she'll do is she'll kind of get in the around the building just to the southwest of it.
The grouping of buildings there?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's about, like, each one of those is a group of about 3 or 4 buildings. There is some space in between them, but yeah, there's groupings.
She'll kind of dart into there.
Okay.
And find she'll keep an eye out on the actual dock area and the areas in the well-traveled part. Just off the path. So that way she can get a good like vantage point. How tall are the buildings?
They vary in size. I mean, some of them are 15 to 20 feet. There are a couple of warehouses that probably hold slightly larger items or just maybe have shelving in them. You're not really sure. But a few of them get up to about 30, 40 feet. But most of them are anywhere from 15 to 20.
Okay. So the actual warehouse itself, is it
The one that you're looking for?
Yeah.
It's about 15.
Okay. And the buildings around it there? About the same size?
It is right there. It is that
Oh,
building
sorry.
that's
I
that's
heard
fine.
uh-oh, and I looked.
No, it's fine.
That one right there? Okay.
It is that one right there.
Is it the tallest building in that group, or no?
Nope.
Okay. So I will try to sneak over to the tallest building in the group.
Okay.
And not overtly out in the open, of course. Hope to climb to the top of the building.
Okay, so you're looking for the one that's the tallest. That would probably be the one. It will be the one almost directly to the west of it.
Gotcha.
Um,
So I'd say on
between.
probably the back side of it, where
Okay.
in between the buildings, it'd probably be the most out of the way area.
Okay, so there's about just so you can have an idea of what you're looking at. There's about 50 to 60 feet between that building and the one that you're keeping an eye on.
Okay.
There is a small path or a paved like cobblestone road that goes through there that's anywhere from about 15 to 20 feet wide.
Okay.
Also one that goes along the seaside, where it seems that a lot of these carts or whatnot travel along. There are a couple of other smaller buildings in between that looks more like they're fishermen shacks and whatnot. Again, pretty small, but from the vantage point you probably would have a pretty decent viewpoint. If you want to go ahead and give me an athletics check to climb. And you're trying to do it inconspicuously?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a stealth check first, then, as you're kind of hiding.
28.
28. Okay. So find a inconspicuous space where it's kind of shadowed, a little bit more concealed from the afternoon light. So you can move half your speed while climbing. If you're trying to do so inconspicuously, it's
A quarter, right?
it's basically 10 feet per round.
Gotcha.
So if you're climbing up to the top, you're looking at 3 checks in total. It's about 30 feet to the roof. So
8.
Okay. You're looking for a handhold here. I'm not going to say you fall or anything like that, but from when you're looking at this particular section of building, you're not able to really find a good handhold. There's a window that's kind of nearby, but it is presently open. So you're not sure if anyone's going to see you while going by there, but
So
you're having trouble finding any handholds to get moving. What would you like to do?
I am looking in my bag of holding.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take. Is there actually is there what? How tall did you say this one was?
About 30 feet to the roof.
Is there a second story?
It's hard to
That I
tell. I
can
mean,
see.
it's a warehouse building
Oh,
for the
okay. So
most
it
part, is
doesn't
what it
have
looks like.
windows up top? Then
No, I mean you see
Okay.
some ventilation all the way near the top of the roof. That's probably just meant to keep some air circulating in between. But where you're looking at right now, there is a window on this side of the building. Potentially an office, potentially just a window that goes into a waiting area. You're not really sure. But it is open.
Okay. I will
I say
look in the
with your
window.
passive, you can hear a voice inside.
Okay. I am going to see if I can use the window frame
Okay.
to climb.
All right. Go ahead and just give me an athletics check again here.
Jesus.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
This is
So
going great.
you get a hold. I mean, you get a hold of the window. You're pulling yourself up. And you're struggling. So the wood kind of creaks a little bit as you're doing so. You do have. I mean, I was gonna say you have stealth on your side, so you're kind of keeping an eye out. The person that is in there, as you catch an eye, as you're getting there, and one of your hands slips for a moment, and so you go to grab back on, and it makes that slapping sound against wood, and you see the person's head kind of tilt for a moment, like looking up from a ledger, kind of looks like they're getting ready to look over their shoulder, I would say.
I would drop at that point
Okay.
and move to a different vantage point
Okay.
at that time to see if I can find a better place to get up.
Okay. Same building you want to find?
Yeah, that one or the actual warehouse building.
Okay. All right, go ahead and just give me a general perception check if you're looking for a better vantage point to climb.
Woo.
14. It's hard to find something with these buildings, mainly because a lot of them are just wood and very worn, just because of the sea air that comes off of it. So a lot of the wood is weathered. It's everything around here is built for storage and function for the most part. Unlike a lot of residencies where you tend to have bricks and outcroppings that you can potentially scale up and give yourself some handholds. These are definitely not designed that way. The warehouse that you were at, beforehand, did have a few windows near the entrance where you went in, as well as on the side. It would be the one on the side is on the side that the sun is coming down presently, so it's right out in the open. There was what looked to be in the brief time that you saw it, there was a spot to the right that potentially looked like it was more concealed, but you didn't. You took a walk around it, right?
Yeah.
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 So there on the east side, on the east side there was a spot that was kind of recessed in, where you might be able to give it a better go. It would probably be in the shadows and the shade right now, so you could give it a shot, and it's only probably maybe 12 feet to the roof there.
That's where I'm heading in.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay. For athletics. All right. Um, so you make your way over there. Are you still moving stealthily?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You want me to roll another one?
For stealth, yeah, because
Okay.
you basically have to reveal yourself to go across. There's 14. All right. There are, you can hear with your passive. I would say you hear various voices, from the east side of the building as you're approaching the corner, where the entrance that you went in was. So from the entrance to the corners, about 25 feet or so, there's a window that you kind of crouch down and move underneath. Luckily, at this point, it doesn't appear to be anybody going inside or outside of the warehouse itself, and no one seems to pay attention to you that you notice. And as you get a little bit closer, you can hear a few voices from the far east side of the building.
I am gonna concentrate. And she's thinking in her head, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me.
You don't see anybody yet. So, I mean, they appear to be on the east side of the building, around the corner.
Is that's where that little recess is that she's going to, right?
No, so there's a recess, and then there's a little alcove that butts into it that's about 10 square feet or so.
Okay.
And then it comes back to the south a little bit, and then goes a little bit further east, about 25 more feet, and the voices are coming from around that, probably closer towards the cobblestone, we'll call it driveway, that you saw where some carts were
Gotcha.
kind of stored or sitting on the very east side of the building. But
And and that's the way that I'm headed to go up.
you don't have to go toward. You're not going towards the people. No, like
okay.
you're stopping a little. You're stopping before that point.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So,
all right. So she'll go up on the roof.
okay, I would
from
say
here.
I'll say with the natural 20. I mean, it's you're able to traverse it. You find a couple of spots where you're able to. A couple of boards that look like they've dislodged a little bit, and you're able to grab on, and due to your slight frame, you don't really risk the possibility of pulling them out or breaking them or anything like that. But you hoist yourself up onto the top of the roof.
She's gonna lay down like on full stomach, tactical crawl style.
Okay.
And on the roof, crawl towards where the voices were.
Okay, so you'll have a choice. You can either stay on the south side of the pitch, where you won't be able to see the moon sea itself, because if you go over the pitch of the roof, you're going to basically be looking down towards the moon sea. More than likely, given your profession, you know that would probably make you slightly more visible. Although to anybody on the south side of the building right now, you'd probably be pretty visible. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of make your way over that way. It just depends on which side of the pitch of the roof you want to be on.
She's gonna go with her instincts and stay
Stay
on
on the
the.
south side. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you can make your way over to the side of the roof and peer over the side where you hear the voices kind of
Yep.
coming from. Okay. Um, all right. So what you see is on the north side of the building there is a wagon that appears to be. It has its back down, the back gate dropped down, and a couple of dock hands or warehouse workers are loading a crate onto there. Go ahead and give me a perception check. 27. Okay. So from there, you can see the two warehouse workers loading a crate on there. There do appear to be two other crates, not very large. They're more like footlocker sized. But there are 3 red plumes by the wagon right now. One is kind of looking in your direction, but not looking up, just looking away. So there are a total of 5 people that you can see there right now.
She is. Since she sees the guy looking the direction, that's when she's gonna say the whole "You don't see me, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me."
Yeah. All right. What else would you like to do at this point?
She's gonna turn invisible.
Okay. All right. Just watching, keeping an eye out.
Yep.
Okay. Kovac, you're tailing her through the city, or what you believe to be her. Go ahead and give me one more perception check.
Sure.
This one would be an advantage because you know what you're looking for. You're
Oh.
following. Well, I mean, 17 is actually pretty good. Yeah, okay. Go with the 17. Yeah, excuse me.
Plus,
Dang it. Just coughing here a lot. So yeah, you get another glimpse, and she has a pretty unmistakable outfit from traveling with her, but yeah, it's you're fairly certain that it's her. She's moving very quick though, so I mean, you would have to, in order to keep pace. You kind of figure you'd have to run almost. You're not losing too much ground to her, but she's gonna probably get there at least a few minutes, 5 maybe more than before you.
okay. And is this I would do that, try and keep pace with her until I got outside the city.
Okay.
So I do, yeah. He does not want to draw attention to himself, so he figures he could kind of hide amongst the people, but
Okay.
he doesn't want to run out in the open road there and have guards wondering what's going on.
That makes sense. All right. So, So you make your way, following her to the city gate with your perception and whatnot. The fact that you kind of have a bearing on where she is, not too hard. When she gets outside the city on the more open road and whatnot, starts moving. She keeps moving, and you can very clearly see where she's going. So it's not as crowded out here, of course, with the buildings and whatnot. So you can kind of slow to a fast walk, so to speak. But is that what you do for the remainder of the time frame as you're making your way over there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you get there, what is your approach in approaching the warehouse? Or how close do you want to get?
How much? Jeez. I guess since I know that she's going there, I probably will go along the dock edge and come up that way.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see my cursor or not
Yep,
there.
I see you there.
Okay.
Okay.
I would probably take that route and just be as inconspicuous as possible.
Okay. So just walking along the dock like a normal person.
Yep.
Okay.
Once I get up there, I might just kind of hang out around here.
Okay.
And just chill by the water.
Okay. Just are you just getting the warehouse into view? Is that your
Basically, yeah. So I can definitely not going to go in there unless there's I notice some kind of a problem.
Okay. How far away would you like to be? I mean,
how far is the warehouse from the water's edge? Yeah.
From the water's edge, it's actually not that far from the actual dock itself. Maybe 60, 70 feet.
Okay.
From the one that you're kind of looking at, like this is the dock that it
Their
more
dock
closely connects to. If you're looking at something like over here, that's probably 120, 150 feet away from the warehouse.
Okay. That'd be about good.
It's still visible.
Around in there.
All right.
Sure.
Go ahead and give me a perception check as you get there.
Okie dokie.
That was actually cockeyed on the screen. Roll that again. It was actually cockeyed.
Oh, was it?
It was cockeyed. Yeah. If you look, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Did it look like that to everybody else too? It looked like he was sitting on the.
My side looked like it was a 17.
Yeah. I saw it was like 16, and I was like, it was sitting right on the edge. I'm like, I know the program's like, well, it's more leaning that way. I'm like, yeah, that's not how we do it though. All right, 21. All right. So you get a good eye on the warehouse. You don't see Lilith anywhere, but you do see some activity on the northeast corner there. The door on the north side that's facing the docks. Those two doors are presently open. There's a cart that's about 10 feet or so from the door. You'd estimate 10 to 15. You see a couple of guys that are loading what look to be small crates onto this cart. And you do see a couple of red plumes. At least 3. What you also see on this side is 2 other individuals that are dressed in. One is a woman that's dressed in fairly nice clothes, and another guy that's just in a fairly traditional looking like tunic and trousers, as well as like a very simple vest. Nothing remarkable necessarily about it, just looks like a guy. The woman is a bit shorter than him, dressed in a little bit more noble type outfit. Looks like they're talking to each other, probably.
Okay.
As you guys are watching, Doug, or Lilith, after you get to your invisibility phase, what are you doing at that point?
I'd imagine. Here's the thing: is do I kind of see that I'm invisible, or do I feel it?
I mean, you know that you're invisible.
Okay. I was just curious
It's
because it's one of those things where she doesn't really know how to do it,
yeah.
but
I
it
mean,
just
that's
happens.
something that she hasn't really. I think she's done it like a few times just in practice, right?
Yeah, and
Um.
not even practicing, it was in battle. And she
Yeah.
just
So I mean, you know that you're invisible, but you're perceptive of where all of your extremities and your hands and
yeah,
everything
yeah.
are. So
Okay. Alright, so since she knows she's invisible,
Mhm.
she's gonna try to creep up a little bit closer to be able to hear the conversation
okay.
of what's going on.
All right. Um.
Just close enough to hear, not to get any closer at all than it takes to hear.
All right. So you creep a little bit closer, and um, what you hear is just a couple of the warehouse workers talking. You hear a crate slide onto the cart, and they're like, well, I mean, that's the last one of the shipment that you asked us to get. Is that the? Did you want us to look for any more? Um, I think that's it. You hear a female voice go, "Oh, I think that'll be good enough. Thank you so much for storing these safely, and I appreciate your safe handling of our merchandise. It is very hard sometimes to find good help around these docks. People who care about your stuff as much as you do." Like, oh, well, whatever you say, lady. I mean, they just, they pay our wages all the same. Fantastic. Well, shall we? And you hear the red plumes kind of, or see the red plumes kind of stand to attention. I need a wisdom save from you, Lilith.
Oh, that's a check. Let's see. There we go. Woo.
Okay. So, uh, Kovac. Mm, you see, as this conversation is happening, the two warehouse workers stop, and the lady and this other guy stop having their conversation. Yeah, one moment. Okay. Um, Stop having their conversation. She goes and steps over and talking with them, and kind of the two guys look at each other, and she looks at the red plume, says something, looks over her shoulder, and just kind of nods to the guy. And you see him pull out from his a pouch on his belt that he has this something that he holds in his hand, makes a few motions, and then looks at her, just kind of notions up. Um, See a very imperceptible nod of his head. And Lilith, as you're sitting there, fully aware that you're invisible, you hear, "I was wondering if you would make your way back over here after you came so brazenly into our warehouse. why don't you come down here so we can have a discussion?
She's just gonna stay really still.
All right.
Because she knows she's invisible. So she's...
Few moments pass. I see. You wish to remain seemingly undetected. That makes the game that much more fun. I am just curious, though. You see as she does a few little motions with her hands, Kovac. How did you get into the city? I mean, one of your kind would be surely most unwelcome and stopped by our illustrious gate guards.
Gonna inch back.
Okay. What would Lilith be thinking? What would Lilith be thinking about at this point?
She's like, I don't want him to know. I don't want him to know. I can't put anybody else in danger.
I already know about the rest of your party, the rest of your companions. Where might they be staying right now?
She'll think of the inn. She can't help it.
Okay. Interesting. Well, if you do not desire to reveal yourself or your companions, I understand. However, my companions over here, Kovac, you watch she's looking up towards the roof at something, and glances over towards the guards, the red plumes that are there. Wow, I don't think they would allow me or allow you to leave this area so readily, especially when you were so rude and denied my invitation to speak freely with me. So she looks over to him. Looks over towards the other guy, Kovac. Go ahead. And you hear a couple of arcane words, and a pulse of energy washes over you as your hands, followed by your forearms, all the way up your arms, your legs, and your feet, all start to come back into view. The magic is gone that was keeping you hidden.
And she could feel that,
Mhm.
right?
Oh yeah, no, the effect ends.
She's now the thoughts, oh shit.
And Kovac, you watch as the guy snaps, and there's just, even from this distance, you can kind of feel the arcane release of energy. You can make an Arcana check if you'd like to determine what it was.
Sure. Okay.
17. Okay. That was definitely dispel magic. I mean, you've watched Kelnorin do it before.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Very familiar feeling. And as you're watching, and she kind of motions towards the guards over there, and towards the other guy, and he does the snap. Lilith is on the roof, back up the pitch. I'm guessing to go towards the other side. Correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I could see Lilith.
Now you can, as she's kind of cresting.
Okay.
So I would say, Lilith, you're cresting the pitch and getting down towards the other side. But yes, she is quite visible at this point.
All right. Well, now that Kovac is fully aware of what's going on, he will use the sending stone.
Okay. What would you like to say?
Let's see. Come to dock warehouse post haste. Lilith is in trouble. Potential twin is here.
So yeah, Lilith, you hear the same thing on your on your phone. Rith, Rowan, Kalnorn, what would you guys like to do in response?
Where are we at this particular point? I mean, we've already finished up our conversation and have left.
Oh yeah, yeah. By the time that she got there and did everything, I mean, you guys weren't there for more than 30 minutes, more than 40 minutes. So yeah, you would have wrapped up at the Cracked Mug and or wrapped up and were back at the Cracked Mug.
Well, I would have broke off, so I break off when we're
For your
done,
selling.
and I do some selling.
Yep. Okay. I mean, given the fact that you don't know a lot of the town, you would have been kind of restricted to more of an area where you would have seen certain smithy or equipment shops. I would say you're finishing your deal.
Okay.
Rowan and Kelnoran, were you guys heading back to the Cracked Mug after you were done?
Yeah, but I've changed directions now.
I already used my sending stone previously today, so I don't have it. I'll just sigh to myself as I finish selling
Okay.
and make my way that way. Less post haste, but
Okay.
as I shake my head.
Okay. Give me. Do you want high or low?
For me?
Rith? Yep.
I'll take high.
High. Okay. High. Okay. So the cafe that you guys were at was right here. The blacksmith or the equipment shop that you found was over here.
Okay. And where are we sleeping?
Down here.
All right. So I'll make my movement down this way.
All right.
Towards the dock. For me.
So, Kelnorn and Rowan, you guys would have made it back to the Cracked Mug by the time you got that message. So,
I'm falling right behind Rowan, cursing in giant like the whole way.
Like as soon as I step out the door, though, I'm gonna reach into my pouch, and I will take out the Silver Raven figurine.
Okay.
And place it down on the ground and do the thing.
Okay, so summon the Raven out?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll tell it to find Hulin and tell him we have to go to the dock. One of ours may be in trouble. Sorry if something happens.
Okay.
So
I tell the Raven to, find him and give him the message.
I didn't want to interrupt everybody else's, but when I heard Kovac's thing, I would have said 3 crates on the cart from the twin. After I crested and got a little cover.
Okay. So, all right. So, all of that happens within the span of this initial time frame. Lilith, what are you doing as you crest the roof?
Looking for a way down.
Well, they're really again. You climbed up a wooden structure for the most part.
Yeah.
From where you're at, there really
Looking
is
for the
not
softest
a...
landing, actually. That's what I'm looking for. Because
Yeah, a lot of this area is kind of gravelly sand like. So it's not... I wouldn't say that the area is necessarily hard ground. So you can attempt
she'd be
to...
looking for like a sandy area to try to tumble off into.
Okay,
off
go
the
ahead and
roof.
give me a perception check then.
Mm.
15. In your haste of trying to do this, in the heat of the moment, it all looks pretty sandy from where you're standing. Nothing that really looks any more soft than anything else.
She's gonna just keep on sliding off and roll as she hits, just to hope
Okay.
for the best.
All right, go ahead and give me an acrobatics check. 13. All right. So you roll. It is about a 10-foot drop. So you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you hit. Kind of tumble onto some rocks that are underneath the gravel and the sand. One pokes you kind of in the ribs, but you do avoid landing on anything like that and like twisting an ankle or anything. But you're not able to necessarily maintain your momentum as you hit the ground. You kind of come to a stop, and with your perception, you can hear, or it doesn't take your perception, but you can hear footsteps as well as the authoritative voice of two individuals saying, "Halt, do not move," from coming around the edge of the warehouse. And Kovac, yes, they take off around the eastern side of the warehouse, kind of out of your view at that point.
I am definitely gonna move.
Okay.
And kind of circle around the backside.
Okay.
Opposite of where I heard the voices coming from.
Okay.
When Kovac gets a chance, he's going to start moving back west.
Down the coastline or whatnot, or?
Yeah, not at a quick pace or anything, but...
Okay. So, are you just turning and walking, not paying attention to anything's happening behind you, or?
Well, I mean,
how
as
quickly
much as...
are you moving?
Not super quick.
Okay.
But just kind of as nonchalant as possible, just trying to go. So we'll keep somewhat of an eye on what's going on, but wants to create some distance.
Okay. So, all right. Are you using your full dash movement there, Lilith?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you hear the voices behind you yell, "Halt, or we will use lethal force," as you are scampering off and away. Let's see. What direction are you taking away from the warehouse? Like, tell me how you're moving in relation to the southern edge. Are you...
I'm gonna try to get like weave through buildings to try to lose like line of sight and
Okay. So you're moving back
basically
towards the group of buildings where you came from?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. You will. All right. With your perception, I'll say that you can hear this as you're running. There are a couple of more arcane words that are being muttered, a few words. And I need a wisdom save from you.
$13.
13. Okay. So, Kovac, what you see from your side as you're kind of turning to walk and keep your eye on the warehouse is that the guy who's done any of the arcane magic-y stuff, as soon as he does the dispel, he takes off running along the northern side of the building. And then as soon as he reaches the end, you watch as he dissolves into a mist and then reappears about 20, 30 feet down the western side, moving a little bit more southerly. You do catch a glimpse of Lilith running in that direction as, like, mid-stride, she goes to step, and her body, Lilith, you are paralyzed. As a whole person locks over you, and she, in mid-step, just, boom, goes straight forward, kind of face plants in the sand on the side, and is immobile. The woman that was over there is just taking her time, seemingly without a care. You just gonna continue on your way?
Yeah, there's
Okay. No, that's fine.
can't do anything by himself, so nope.
So, Lilith, you hear footsteps continuing to approach. Make another wisdom save, because you do have the ability to break the enchantment at the end of every turn.
15.
15. It still holds you fast at this point. And you hear footsteps coming up, and a hard leather with a few little bits of iron kind of covering it kicks you right in the ribs. But you can't really make a sound. All you hear as the air rushes out of you. So you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. As they clap a manacle onto one wrist, attach it to one guy, and then grab your other hand, clap it, attach it to another guy. And you're just kind of you're rigid and stiff, just kind of dangling in the air between
Dangling,
these
yeah.
two red
I
plumes,
just pictured that.
like mid-run step. As
like-
yeah, as let's see. Sorry, let me give you a description of what she looks like. So, as this woman comes around, she stands maybe 5 foot tall, not a very tall for a human-looking woman, and she's trim but quite curvy, strawberry blonde hair, hazel eyes, and as she gets a little bit closer and they hold you up and you can look at her, you can kind of see this on the inner ring of her eye, kind of dances almost like a pinkish flame. It'd be kind of pretty if you didn't know what probably lurked underneath. She just kind of puts her hand to this side of her face and goes, "This would have been much, much simpler if you just would have spoken to me. But I do appreciate you telling me about the inn. That's very handy to know. We may have to check on them later. Just see what they may know. Make sure you aren't getting into any other trouble around here. I mean, these are very nice people in the town. And I would really hate for anything terrible to happen to the wonderful people of the city. All because some unwanted individuals came traipsing in and ruined everything. You can make another wisdom save if you'd like.
14.
14. Still held fast. She goes, well, I will leave you in their capable hands, and I have some business to attend to. Some plans to readjust, and some people to visit. I hope you, kind of motions between the 4 people that are there, including the extra red plume guard. I hope you have a wonderful time getting to know each other. She's like, you might want to gag her before you feel as a cloth just goes right in between mouth, secured. She's like, you can go ahead and release it now. And the guy snaps his fingers, and the rigidity of your muscles relaxes, and the other red plume's just kind of standing there in front of you. You know, I haven't gotten a chance to get my hands on a halfling in a good long while. I hope the captain lets me have a turn, but let's take her.
No.
And they carry you off into the city. Literally carrying you, just like holding their wrists up so you are just kind of like dangling there, your feet above the ground. So they are carrying you in. Kovac, with your meandering, you do see a little bit of this happen before a building starts to block your sight. But you see the woman addressing Lilith.
Okay.
And then, are you still taking your time walking?
Yeah.
All right. About a minute or so later, you hear a cart kind of approaching you from the back left, clopping of hooves, and in the front seat of it, you see the woman with the strawberry blonde hair seated and going towards the city.
Okay. I ain't gonna change anything.
No, I know. I'm just letting you know where you're going. So, and you will eventually see like red plumes kind of off to your side, with Lilith, just kind of
Okay.
dragging her along, carrying her along.
Back toward the city as well.
Mhm.
Okay. Whereabouts are they? Are they coming like on the south side and going down that way, or?
So eventually you would have to, I mean, you were right here,
Yep.
or sorry, about right here-ish or so, to have your eye. No, sorry, right here, yeah. Kind of making your way back along this way, along the
Yep.
docks. Okay. I would say you see them off over here, and just passing along the southern edge of the road, but they're going towards the city.
Okay.
I mean, they pull ahead of you since you're taking your time as you're walking, not going necessarily full speed. And with two of them, with Lilith's manacle between them, they aren't really slowed. She's not exactly a imposing figure. So,
Well, I'll keep that same. I mean, I'll keep following along this coast and just try and. I won't be exactly parallel with them. I'll let them keep going ahead of me a bit, but then so I can follow, but
okay.
at a
So
distance.
you'll have to cross down like this way eventually if you want. I mean, the road that you're on right here is very wide. Like it's
Okay.
good enough for like 2, 3, 4 carts to probably pass by each other. This is a well-traveled area, so I mean, you can probably keep your distance without necessarily being seen or necessarily losing sight. I mean, the giant red plumes coming off of their helmets makes it easy to track them for the most part.
Is what happened to the magic user?
You saw him on the cart as well.
He was on the card. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So it's just these two.
Well, there are 3 plumes that are carrying her in. Like she's
Oh,
in
3
between
plumes.
2, and then
Okay.
there's one that's walking in front.
And can Kovac tell if she's conscious or not?
What are you doing, Lilith? You're muted, sorry.
I'm just kind of hanging out, watching where I'm going and keeping an eye out and seeing if I recognize anybody.
Okay. I mean, she's just
'Cause
kind of
I
hanging
don't
there.
know if, yeah, because I don't know if anybody's,
Sure.
if anybody's here or not,
I mean,
or
you
if
heard the
anybody got
message,
my
so yeah.
message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's hanging there. She's definitely in a different pose than when you saw her. But I mean, you do see that there's a little bit of movement with her head, kind of side to side. You can make a
Okay.
perception check if you'd like, Lilith. 13? Yeah, I mean, you're keeping an eye out. No one that you can see right now. I mean, it's only been a few minutes, so good chance that they're on their way.
I'm. Okay. And you said it's about 2 or 3 carts wide.
About you think at least 3 cars could pass by on this road without any problems.
Okay. Anybody else on the road? Can I see any guards or anything up the road?
As far as like red plumes, or just
Just any. I don't know. Does the town send guards on patrol out here? Would we run into anybody?
go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
10. All right. I mean, of course, there are the 3 in front of you. But you spot like maybe 1 or 2 other guards around this area that have the red plumes on them, but not like they're not necessarily close to you right now.
Okay.
They're you see them off amongst some of the other buildings, but not like walking the road or stationary on the road or anything. They do appear to just patrol the areas.
Okay. I'm gonna get as close as I can to them on this section here,
Okay.
as nonchalant as possible.
Okay.
And when I'm within 10 feet, I'm gonna do something.
Okay. You can either give me a deception or stealth roll if you're trying to be as nonchalant as possible.
God damn it!
It's
The one
cocked.
fucking time. Come on.
It looked cocked in my screen. That was weird.
Okay. So as you get a little bit closer, probably get within 15 feet, one of the guards turns and says, "Whoa, just a moment, citizen. If you want to step back just a moment, this is a dangerous criminal we're taking in. I can't have you getting too close."
Oh, my apologies. I'm
Thank
kind
you
of in a
for-
hurry. Can you let me go first? Is that all right?
Oh, kind of look at each other. Go ahead and give me just a persuasion roll.
Shit. If you roll a 20, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay.
An 8. Okay. I'll say, as long as you keep your distance, that should be fine.
Sure. All right. So whereabouts are we?
See, you would have caught them. I would say you're about halfway. Right there.
Halfway.
Yeah, halfway in this open section right here. So right about there.
Okay. I'm gonna get up around this.
Uh-huh.
And hang out up here.
Okay. Are you trying to be
I'm going to
concealed?
ready. Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead and give me a stealth roll then.
Don't fail me twice.
There you
Thank
go.
God.
All right.
Okay.
So, I would say about 2 or 3 minutes passes. What are you readying?
Dark aura.
Okay. And what does that do?
It gives me a 30-foot cube from me, and I think they're just frightened.
Okay.
30-foot cube. Yeah, wisdom saving throw against my DC. So yeah, just the frightened spell basically in a 30-foot cube.
Oh, like a fear?
Fear.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? Okay, hold on. The description is different than the description says 30-foot cube. The actual target says 30-foot cone. So, I don't know. DM's choice whenever you
Is this
want.
underneath your... Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay. You project a phantasmal image of the creature's worst fear. 30-foot cube originating from you.
Trying to look it up in the actual... What we... Okay, in the thing we worked up, it is a 30-foot cube.
Right. Okay.
So I think maybe we just put it in as the target was wrong when we wrote it into the
That's probably true.
foundry.
That's more than likely it. So here, we'll fix that. There. Now it's right. All right. So 30-foot cube, and then they are frightened and they have to run away from you.
Yep, dash action and safest available route on each of its turns unless there is nowhere to move.
Okay. I can't watch Discord sometimes when we're playing.
Oh, I know, right? Not distracting at all.
Mm. Okay, so end of your next turn. All right, so it is versus your save.
I think it's 15.
Right. Let me. They would be. Okay. And are you trying to hit all three of them?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
I'll wait till they're all pretty close.
So, I need the save from you too, Lilith.
Yep. You guys gotta take my chances. If they all run great.
Is it wisdom save?
Yep, it's a wisdom save.
Been doing so well on those lately.
Well, there you go.
Hey.
Funny if she was the only one that failed.
I'm trying to run off. Well, I can't touch the ground.
Okay, so
I'm gonna get ripped in half, aren't I?
well, it's interesting.
Man.
So let's see here. I gotta check now. See. Okay. Nice. This will be great. So, the guy up front instantly, as soon when he gets hit by this, just eyes go wide. He shrieks in terror and takes off. Just running full tilt, kind of southeast, basically, away from you. And essentially down the road that would lead him towards Elventree, if he was going to go that far. But so he takes off. The guy on your left, Lilith, bolts. The guy on the right just sees something, kind of shakes for a moment, is taken aback, and is yanked from his feet. So your left arm is this way, and now you're kind of holding on to the two of them, basically, as the guy on your left is attempting to follow the other guy. He drags you both about 30 feet. Your wrists hurt. Say you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as the manacles dig into your wrists from both sides. Give me a dexterity saving throw, Lilith. And then if it's successful, I want. Okay, never
I
mind.
think that's successful.
It is successful. I was going to say, but with a natural 20, I will allow you, as these things are pulling on you, I will allow you an escape artist check. As you're being basically pulled in two different directions. This is going to cause more damage. And given the amount of damage you're going to take, fighting is probably not going to be an option until you get healed. But it's going to hurt.
Yep. All right.
So this is a acrobatics check.
Okay.
Is what you can either use athletics or acrobatics for escape artist, but
I will use acrobatics.
I kind of figured.
23.
Okay. So as the guy pulls, you instantly notice that guy is pulling and that guy is completely off guard. Their weight is off balance. You kind of lock your thumbs in, it dislocates both of them. But the manacles slide off your wrists. And you are, I would say with your dexterity save that you made, you kind of like superhero land, but you are missing the skin right there. And it's bleeding pretty good at this point. But and as you land, you can see Kovac standing over there. What do you do after you do the effect, Kovac?
Well, yeah, okay. If the effect took hold, I will be running after her wherever she ends up. So I guess I'd be moving toward
Okay.
her
All
after I cast a spell.
Got it. All right. So that guy has fallen to the ground. With everything that happened there, basically the other guy that was on your side books it. So he's gone about 60 feet down the road. The other guy's about 60 feet away from you too, Lilith. And the other guy has just fallen to the ground. So he is presently prone. So Lilith, go ahead and have both of you guys give me initiative rolls to see how we act during this time frame. Just go ahead and give me a d20, and we'll see where you guys are, or just roll the initiative. But
let's see. Oh, I forgot where is that with the new layout?
Yeah.
Where's the initiative? Oh, up in utilities. Got it. Never mind. Oh, it says no combat encounter.
Just roll the d20. And just tell me what it would be.
Oh, okay. 16.
Okay.
I believe. Doesn't have any on the bottom.
Yeah, unless you have alert, you probably don't have anything.
I don't think I have any. Nope, just +2. Okay. So 16.
Unless you're a bard, then you get to add.
Plus dex, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't sing.
So that's a 7 for me.
Okay. Well, so Kovac, you are able to act first. So what was the distance? It was... basically a 30-foot cube from you. So yeah, she's 30 feet away.
30 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, well, perfect. How far away is the prone guy? Right there, too?
Yeah, basically. He's kind of like on the ground next to her.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll stab him.
Okay.
Shit.
All right.
Yeah,
go ahead and
necessarily need to kill anybody, but might as well. If he's there.
Make an attack roll at advantage.
Alrighty. Oh no. Close the... Huh. My weapons are not on there. That's weird. I might just pull up the inventory. I can do it from there.
Okay. Yeah, the Argon Combat HUD, if you're trying to use that one, I think...
Yeah, I was. I can...
Yeah. I think it has an update that needs to be made to it that is...
Okay. Well, I think I could switch over back to the other one, so...
Okay.
Hopefully this will work.
$21 will hit, yes.
Okie dokie.
$7 points to him.
And just that on. There we go.
All right, so 10 points of damage.
10 points.
All right. You have a second attack, or?
Yep, I do.
Okay.
Is this at advantage as well, or just the first one?
He's still prone.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
16.
Loving the ones. All right.
Good thing you had the advantage.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nice. Okay. You run over, stab him twice with your blade, and he yells out in response, "Come back! Where are you going?" And he's trying to rise up as you run by and just stab, and he rolls to the side with the attack. Lilith, you are up.
I'm gonna cast Hideous Laughter on this guy.
Okay. Okay. So in the midst of him yelling, "Hey, where are you going? Come back. Ow, 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 stop stabbing," and just starts laughing. And I mean, I guess you have to. No, you don't have to necessarily tell him anything. So,
Nope.
He's already prone, so he is just laughing at this point, having been stabbed twice now. But you do have your movement.
I am going to move about 30 feet away
Okay.
from him. And that's where I'll stand.
So all right, so end of its turn, it will try to save again. Does not. Stays on the ground, rolling and laughing, bleeding. So let's see. All right. Since the order was kind of weird with the dark aura thing, I will say that the guys use their movement to continue to move away about 30 more feet. And then the effect ends, but their turn does as well. So they are about 90 feet away from you at this point. And then they just kind of stop and shake their head. But they've stopped moving at this point. Come back to the top with you, Kovac. What would you like to do now?
We're getting the hell out of Dodge is what we're doing.
Okay.
So, yep. Yeah, we're getting out of here.
Okay, so just
running and
sprinting away.
dashing. Yep,
Okay.
yep. We're just heading back to the gate.
Lilith?
Yep, same thing.
And wait, Lilith, what are you wearing right now? Do you have like a cloak or anything on? What do you have?
Her cloak is white.
Yep.
Actually, you're wearing. Do you have the cloak of billowing?
I do.
Let me. Yeah, so it is. That is probably not white, but your outfit is. So, but yeah, she has the cloak of billowing, which can't remember if I ever said what color that was, but it probably just would have been brown.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It won't work, so we're good.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right, so Lilith, you're taking both of you guys take off.
I am going to spend one Raven point and get an additional 30.
Okay. Dashing
for an additional dash. So go ahead. Yeah, I'll move 90.
Okay.
Back toward the gate.
All right, so you guys are about 180 feet from the initial guys. Let's see if the one guy you stabbed. Okay, so you guys move twice away from him, and then he finally stops, gets up, and as his compatriots are getting close to him, is able to join in the pursuit. How would you like to lose said pursuit? Because you're probably about, I would say, 300 feet from the gate at this point.
What? Where did my... How many feet from the gate?
About 300.
Oof. Got a ways to go, huh? Let me see here. Ah, okay. I'm next to Lilith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right,
You
I'll
guys
cast
are
invisibility on both of us.
just at a higher level. Is that what you're
Yeah, at third.
doing?
Yep.
Third. Okay.
So it is Dundee.
Okay. So you guys are dashing Lilith, and Kovac reaches over to you, utters some familiar words, and you feel spell just kind of wash over you as your physical form just fades out.
I do not understand the directions for casting this, so I'm just gonna take it off manually.
Oh,
Left click here and press T, plus or minus. I don't.
I don't know.
It's okay.
Okay, so you guys turn invisible, which you have basically for the next hour. Yeah, hour as long as you're concentrating on it. So, we'll say the only thing you will notice, Lilith, as you're running, is that you are leaving a nice little trail of blood.
Mm.
Damn it.
But it's not. I mean, it's not visible until it drops off of you and hits the ground. And I mean, someone's going to have to pay attention to it. But you are invisible.
If I notice it, I'm gonna wrap my cloak over my hands to try
I
to
mean, you can
stem it.
feel it. You can feel it coming off of you,
Yeah.
like dripping down your hands. Because I mean, your hands hurt.
Yeah.
Your thumbs are still dislocated at this point, and
I'm just gonna bear it and like wrap my hands in my cloak.
Okay.
And try to stem it a bit.
Got it. All right.
As we're going back, I'll tell Lilith, send a message that we're headed back to the inn.
I can't.
Never mind.
And she knows about the inn. Somehow.
Even better. Well, I guess we'll just head back and I'll keep a lookout for the rest of the guys to see if we cross paths with them.
Okay. How quickly are you, Kelnorn and Rowan, how quickly are you two moving?
I probably would have been running.
And I'm keeping pace with him.
Okay, so movement and dash every round? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Lilith, with your passive perception, it's not hard to spot Kelnorin. I would say you guys spot them along the main road, probably somewhere like right around here. So like right there.
And we're still invisible, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has an hour until Kovac lets it down. Or you do something aggressive. You know.
Yeah.
I'll as I see him running, I'll try to run up next to him. And because I should be able to keep pace.
Next to
Next to Kelnorn.
Okay.
And I'll like grab hold of his hand and say, "We're invisible. Follow me," because he's probably the least dangerous one that won't stab or punch me. Maybe.
I'm dangerous. Did you guys hear that?
And I'm hurt. Bad. I'm hurt bad.
I'll jump a little. It's literally comes out of nowhere.
Yep.
And Rowan,
Roll.
stop. All right. Follow me, and like I have to bend over ever so slightly. So I'm hunched as I'm being led.
What about Rith?
I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, I know. We need to get him.
I have a Lilith.
I'm gonna look for Rith.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Rowan.
Oh boy.
Rith, you want to give me one too?
Nice. I don't think Kovac and I should ever do anything together that involves perception.
Kovac and Rith, though, was a legendary combination with the Warlock's home. You guys spotted that house through the city. You're like, there it is, right there. Natural 20.
Superman X-ray vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Guys, I'm looking at the mini map. It's right over here.
There's some beacon that goes all the way up into the sky and it leads right here.
Skyrim quest marker.
It has an exclamation point above it. In the sky.
So Rith, you, as they when they're stopped, basically, I mean, you come around the turn, and you see Rowan just kind of like looking around, like stationary for a moment, and you're like 10 feet away, coming out of like a crowd of people.
Rowan.
Come on, we gotta find Rith. Oh. You're Rith.
Thought heading to the docks.
I have a Lilith.
I don't know what that means, but he has a Lilith.
Rith,
We've
I'll
gotta-
say, with your perception check, as you come up there, you notice that there is this little pool of blood, like, gathering on the ground from seemingly nowhere.
Blood? Is that a Lilith?
It's from me.
Just Lilith's voice out of nowhere.
Wait, where's Kovac?
He's invisible too.
He just kept going.
we need to get to the inn and get our stuff and get out of there. She knows we're at the inn.
What did you do?
Ooh.
I'll explain that later.
Rith is pissed. He's visibly pissed.
Oh,
I'm gonna
A
try
few
to
cuss words. A few cuss words. He turns around and starts walking towards the end.
I'm gonna try to
he
calm him
cusses
down
me
on the
to
way
Dwarven.
back.
In common, dwarven, or draconic?
Dwarven.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to calm him down on the way back, and as he's saying everything, I'm just like, yeah, I know, even though I don't understand what he's saying. I agree.
I'm going to heal you as soon as we can, but I'm not saving this. I told you so.
I know. And even though I'm invisible, she's like walking with her head down a little bit.
All right, so you guys make your way back to the inn.
Yep.
Okay. Kovac,
Hey.
you make it to the inn. I mean, as you're going, do you try? I mean, I know Kovac is not a talkative person, so he probably would not say anything on his way back, I'm guessing.
Nope. Just
or you'll
tag
even
along.
notice that she's gone for the most part because you guys weren't holding hands or anything. But and with your passive perception, I would say that with trying to move in between the crowd at the speed you're moving, you don't even notice that her footfalls are gone. It doesn't make a whole lot of noise generally, anyhow. So, you get to the inn.
I'll be outside. I'm not going in. I'd have nothing to go
Well, no,
in
yeah,
for.
he gets there first
Oh, okay.
because he kept going. Lilith's the one that stopped and turned around to catch up to the other people.
Gotcha.
So Kovac is there. So you come in, Boland's at the counter. Hears the noise of your footsteps as you're invisible. Goes, identify yourself.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'll dispel. I'll stop concentration.
he kind of gives you an inquisitive look. Goes, something go wrong? I mean, invisibility is
Definitely not according to plan.
oh. I mean, so wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything I need to worry about?
I don't know yet because I don't have all the pieces of I don't have all the information yet, so I'm gonna wait until the rest of the people show up and we'll find out. Been that kind of day.
All right. Well, when you find out, you let me know.
I'll let you know.
He turns around and leaves and goes into the back. You hear the door shut. That goes into the Brecca's office.
And Kovac will just hang out here.
Yeah, it's surprisingly like. Give me a perception check.
Oh no.
No,
One of these has got to work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
there is. I mean, and you dispel it, and you're like, wait, you're by yourself.
We're walking and Lilith becomes visible.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh.
As you guys are
I have
passing,
to put a bell on her.
kind of halfway through the southern part, right here, or so, Lilith, your invisibility fades.
I'll pick her up and like toss my bear cloak over her a bit.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
All right. So about 10 minutes later, you guys reach the cracked mug. Rith, you're staying outside, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
3 of you head in.
It's
I'm gonna actually stand on the opposite side, staring at the door.
Oh, okay.
So if somebody comes sneaking around into it, I can see them getting into the building.
All right. Go ahead and just give me a perception check as you're keeping watch. Nice.
I'm on it.
17. Yeah. Anger focuses you.
Yes.
Harness it for more than just hitting people. Harness it so you could see people to hit them.
That's right.
Got it. All right. So 3 of you walk in. Kovac is just sitting there.
No, no Bolin or Brecca.
Bolin has not come back out yet.
Well, either way, I'm gonna head straight to Brecca's office.
The door is closed.
Knock.
Okay. You hear her first. Come in.
I go in.
So,
since you guys have helped us, I don't want you to have any surprises, but apparently something happened and they know that we were staying here. The bad people.
see. Well, that is mildly problematic. Well, I would suggest at the earliest possible moment, preferably in the next hour or so, maybe less, you gather your belongings and head out, as I will be locking the doors for the foreseeable future.
The special reserves that leads out.
It leads underground. You can certainly choose to stay down there. There are a couple of exit points that I can let you know of. But well, to say I'm unhappy would be an understatement. But yeah, that is sometimes the price of the game.
Trust me, you're not the only one that's unhappy.
Yeah. Well, I have some arrangements to make or continue making. Have you spoken with Hulin yet?
Well, he's probably heading outside the city because that's where we were told everything was going on. I sent a bird messenger. We didn't make it outside. Our friends came back.
Well, I can't necessarily speak for him, but if you told me that something was going on, I would probably distance myself from that area if I was him.
Okay.
And so, if you need to speak with him, give me some time. I will map out some of the locations that the secret reserves lead to and let you know where you can go.
I want to say yes, but I don't know how much time we have. I don't have a lot of the information. I just know.
That's fine. I will give you something in the next 4 or 5 minutes.
That's plenty of time,
So-
I think, for everyone to grab their things and.
Excellent. Well, don't let me keep you.
Yeah. I'm gonna give her some gold. And by some I mean like 100.
Well, that is appreciative. Yes. Well, good luck.
I hope nothing happens.
Oh, I'm most certain something will, but we'll be long gone.
All right. If you never need anything, just I don't know how you'll get a hold of me, but I mean,
I know your face.
I owe you a lot.
Yes, but we'll see about settling debts at a later time. But you must, please, begin your preparations,
Yeah.
as I must continue.
I'll go back out. Do I know that Rith stayed outside?
I mean, when you come back in, he's not
there.
there, and he's pretty noticeable. Now, you're not sure if he went, if he
Yeah.
could have gone, but he's not there.
Where's Rith?
He's outside. He stayed outside when we came in.
Yeah, he's never come in, according to you guys.
I'll peek out and look for him.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Don't worry, guys. I got this one. Trust me.
Yep, sure do.
Nope, you don't see him immediately outside.
I don't see him.
You see Rowan poke his head out and look around. Just kind of looks right past you. Doesn't even stop.
I don't know what he's looking for. He's gonna stay there.
It looked like he was looking for something. You're like, what's he doing? But, yeah.
Guys, we gotta find
I
him.
mean, I'm not hiding.
No, you're not. You're not.
She said she can show us some places that the tunnels will let us out. We could go out that way. But we need Rith, and he's not out here.
Okay. I'll take a look as soon as I'm done helping Lilith.
Okay.
Right. Let me see your hands.
And I'll just kind of hold him up. since I've been standing there bleeding.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. and Joe Kilnor and the skin's gone. My
Her thumbs are
thumbs,
dislocated.
they're
There's
dislocated.
patches of skin that are gone.
Well, we better do this right then.
There
Now
are
grab her
bruises around
wrist.
her wrist.
And grab her thumb. You might feel a little pressure. Snap it back into place.
Give me a Constitution save.
Let's see if I pass out.
Maybe.
Oh, I gotta make myself visible again too.
Mm.
14.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it hurts. Spots pass in front of your eyes for a moment, but you manage to not scream out in pain. But it definitely does not feel good because when he has to grab on, there's part of the exposed, mangled flesh that he has to grab too, a little bit. So.
I'll repeat the process with the other hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 11 for that one.
Yep. You still more spots but your thumbs are back in place. They're sore, but back in place.
Alrighty. I will cast Healing Word.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice.
I'll pat her hands and then I'll head upstairs.
Yep. So the bleeding stops. Some of the skin starts to grow back. It's still a little bit red and tender, but your hands work.
Thank you. I'll be right back. And I'm going to the office.
Okay.
And I'll knock on the door.
Is it important?
Yes.
Very well. You may enter.
I'll go in and she'll have kind of the head down. And I wanted to apologize.
Okay. Well,
I was-
your other friend already apologized.
It's I was the one that got caught though. The red plumes will probably they're working with the red plumes, so they don't like my kind. So they may come here. I know he's probably already explained that part, but
He did, yes.
I wanted to come personally. And is there like a desk or something in there?
Yeah, she has a desk that presently has a couple of like bags or totes that are placed on it, and you can see she has stuff in her hands that, as you're talking, she is pushing into those totes. But yeah, there is a desk.
I'm gonna reach in my bag of holding and take out my 23 platinum pieces.
Okay.
And stick them on her desk.
Well, as I told your friend before, thank you. It is appreciated.
I know this won't make up for the trouble, but we do appreciate you.
I guess good intentions and all. Well, if there's not anything else, we have a couple of things that we're trying to finish up, and okay. Well, good luck.
No, just walk out. Close the door behind me. Okay, here's the situation. They put 3 crates in the cart. The red plumes are working with them. For sure. Somehow I was invisible on the roof and they saw me. And then I was paralyzed as I tried to get away, and they had me manacled. I know Kovac saw that part. But they are definitely working with the red plumes
You're muted.
now.
I saw, yeah, but I wasn't close enough to hear anything, so what happened?
I was on the roof and I was just listening, and somehow
What did you hear?
So they were just talking about how they were taking that the blue sails were keeping those 3 crates I was talking about on the cart for them. So that might be some of the magic baubles that they had that were given to them. And then somehow they saw me as I was invisible on the roof. I wasn't planning on engaging at all, just watching. And you wanted to talk to me, and I couldn't. I just tried to stay still, and then I wasn't invisible anymore. And I was just trying to get away. And then that's when they caught me. The male guy hit me, and I just couldn't move. It hit me with some kind of spell or something.
How do you know they knew where we were staying?
She was talking to me and asked me. She said she asked where you guys were, and I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything either time, and she said, "Well, where are you staying?" And it just popped into my head, the inn. And then when they had me, she told me, "Well, we'll be visiting the inn." And so she knew it somehow out of my head. I didn't say anything. So she
What
must be
else
able to.
didn't you say? That she may know stuff about now.
That's it. That's all she said. Was the inn. She was asking where you were, and I was just, or she asked how we got in the gate. And I don't think she knows that, because I wasn't thinking about any. I just wanted to make sure you guys were safe at that point. And anybody that's helped us, she didn't say anything about anyone else. So
I'm looking even harder for Rith now.
Outside?
Yeah.
Okay, give me another perception check.
What the? I'm not looking harder. I'm looking less hard.
Nope, no Rith.
Guys, he's gone. I think they may have taken him.
he was out. I didn't think he went anywhere. I'll go look out the door.
Go and give me a perception check. Yep,
17.
there he is. There he is. He's kind of posted up across the street.
I'll just point out there, and there's Riz right there, and I'll walk back in.
I just go running over. Rith probably sees like a look of relief on my face because I was worried. And I'm like, hey, come in.
You're muted, by the way.
Okay, he'll walk in.
Man, I was so worried about you.
I've been standing here.
You're really good at hiding.
He looks very confused. Thanks.
So do we need to pack up and go, or what's our...
We need to get our stuff. Brecca said she can show us some ways out of the special reserves if we'd like to go that way. I mean, it gives us a way out without being seen walking out the front door here, at least.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
everyone. I wanted to try to get us some more information, and I made us more in danger.
Later. We gotta get our stuff.
Kovacs is already walking up to get his shit.
Kelnorn, what are you doing up there? Did you... Oh, there you
Sorry, I was muted.
go. Yep. Okay.
From upstairs here, you guys coming? We need to go.
I'll head up that way.
Gather everything up.
I mean, technically, all my stuff's already in the other side of the door, so.
Yep. So, about 4 or 5 minutes after you originally talked to her, Rowan, maybe 5 or 6, because she got interrupted a second time. Brecca comes up with Bolin, and this has certainly been eventful. If you wish to go down the stairs here, you will find some old tunnels down here that were used in yesteryear for various activities. There is one that will take you north towards the House of Happiness. There is also one along that northern tunnel that will branch off towards Hulin's home. I sent a message to him to let him know that he may want to speak with you, and encouraged him to take the remainder of the day off, or to head home anyhow. So she hands you a piece of paper that shows the tunnels don't go very far underneath the city, but there is one that kind of goes out the western wall. And there is a tunnel that kind of goes to the north where it branches off to the left at one point with an X mark, and then another one that's further to the north with another X mark. There are a couple that head to the south, you would presume into the demi-human area or the slums area. And then a few that kind of go off to the east. Not quite sure where they go to, but there are a few other locations that are marked on there. She says, well, there are a couple of other safe houses that this connects to. I don't know if... You'll have to speak with Hulin and see if he wants to set you up somewhere new, or what he wants to do from here. But here you are. I wish you luck. And she and Bolin just turn and leave.
Should we go?
Yes.
I'll open the door in my room.
Okay.
Grab my pack and then start heading down the stairs. Actually, I'll wait for everybody and then like close the door up, you know?
Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys head down the stairs, descending about 60 feet or so into some old cobblestone-lined tunnels that appear to have been dug out, some wooden support beams here and there. And where would you like to head? It is dark down here, by the way. It's pitch black. So anybody who does not have dark vision will need a torch or something.
Or we just form a big line. We put like Mir Kovac in the front, Rith in the middle because he can see now, and then Mir Kovac at the back. So we have no lights. And we go through.
That is true. You can do that. So where would you guys like to go at this point?
I would assume Hulin's house, but I don't know if that's... I would assume that's probably the best place to go first, maybe.
Probably.
Well, lead the way.
Going to Hulin's house.
All right. So you head.
Yeah, we'll keep Rith in the middle because I think his dark vision might be the smallest distance.
I think he's as equal as yours.
Is it?
It is
60?
60.
Mine's 120 now with Devil Sight.
I forgot you took that evocation.
Yeah.
Your invocation. So. Okay. So you guys head towards Hulin's house. Who's following the map? Or keeping an eye out? Who's leading this group? In the dark.
I'll take charge. Seems smart.
Good
What?
deal.
Yep. I mean, I can't see, but I know where we're going. I'll walk directly into a wall.
I'll lead the way, unless one of those two want to lead the way.
Oh, I should go in the back.
I got this. Don't
I'll
worry.
stay right in the middle.
Guys, you can trust me. It's fine.
I trust you.
I trust you more than others.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a perception check as you are.
I mean, they can only get worse, right?
This is gonna be great.
Nice. That's the exact same roll. The dice are weighted, I swear.
All right, so you travel on for a while, and you reach the you feel like you should have probably reached it already, but you know, passage of time in the dark underground, it's different. It feels different. Attitude is pretty solemn with the rest of the group. Not a whole lot of chit chat or anything like that going on at the moment. So maybe that's affecting your passage of time. But you reach the end of this tunnel. You never saw a turn off left.
I think I think I missed a turn somewhere, guys. Oh yeah. I think it's just right back here, and I'll start walking back the other.
Okay.
This is what happened when I first got to the city.
Yep.
I will watch for the turn that we're supposed to be looking for.
All right. Go ahead and whoever is just a pair of you, go ahead and give me perception checks.
Like he doesn't trust me.
That's right.
Hey!
Okay.
He's in front of me, so it's good.
For you, Rith, it's probably just the concept of getting used to the dark vision being monochromatic. You know, you see in black and white and shades of gray. It's kind of hard to spot the offshoots in the pitch black because they kind of just look dark. But Rowan, on your second attempt, yes, you do indeed see the turnoff.
See, I told you it was just right here, guys. Sorry, I missed it.
So you follow the path down for a little while until you reach a ladder that climbs straight up a carved out tunnel here, lined with wood.
I will head up the ladder.
Okay. So Lilith and Kalnorin,
Yes.
it's a very interesting feeling climbing in the pitch black because you have no idea of where the person is necessarily in front of you. Who's right behind Rowan? Who was second?
I would want to be like behind Rith, so he doesn't
I am.
like crush me.
So Kalnorin, you're second. I'll say, as you're climbing, you start to. I'll say that you would notice that there is like the faint outline of light around something, like very faintest, just kind of peeking through the cracks of something, and give me a dexterity check.
Okie doke.
Okay. So
21.
Rowan, you get to the top, and there is indeed a hatch here, wooden hatch that you stop as you're climbing and go to push it open. Kelnorn, you notice at the last moment because you can't really see. You notice that the shadows kind of around the shadows that you think represent Rowan's form stop. And so you stop just before you essentially would have shoved your head right up his ass.
That's good.
Like, what are you doing back there? We could have just climbed up one at a time.
You stop right before you run into him. And then a light illuminates this tunnel as I will.
Uh-oh.
I'm much closer to you than I thought I was. I'm so sorry.
So I will have to move you in so that way I can move him, and then Kovac, I'll give you a token too.
Oh.
So you guys come in, and the door is already open. Rith, there is a familiar smell of like burning charcoal and like metal that is being worked like a blacksmith. You get that scent of and there's oil and all of the tools and scents that you would normally pick up from a blacksmith's forge. They're coming through that door as you guys open up the hatch. Rowan, do you continue filtering in?
Yeah.
Okay, because it is Hulin in front of you.
I'm like, don't hurt me, don't hurt us, don't hurt us.
So I will move you in. Move everybody in here. Bam. There you go. So yeah, Rith, as you come through the door, you notice this is like a small little blacksmith's workshop. And Hulin's kind of standing there, just kind of looking at you guys. Oh, I got your message, or kind of yours, points to you, Rowan. And then a message from Brecca indicating that the cracked mug was compromised. And I also had a notification come out from some superiors of mine that a prisoner escaped transport with the red plumes, made by an elf who both assaulted the guard and are now being searched for in my city. Ooh. What happened?
That's a good question.
Thought so.
It's my fault.
Okay, please walk me through the events.
I went to the warehouse outside the city, the Blue Sails warehouse. And I was invisible up on the roof. Just listening. Hadn't planned on engaging at all. And saw the red plumes with what I can only assume would be the twins. And somehow they saw me.
Did they say anything?
She wanted to talk, but I couldn't get off the roof. And I thought it might be a bad idea in the first place. But then she asked how we got in the gates, and I didn't say anything. But then she asked where my friends were, and it just the inn just popped in my mind, and I couldn't. And then she said something about the inn. So I don't know how she did it, but it's like she read my thoughts. And then when I tried to get away to let everyone know, the mail hit me with some kind of spell, and I just froze. I just couldn't move. And that's when the red plumes there with them were they put me in manacles.
Okay. Well, I'm not very well versed in the ways of magic myself. Do any of you?
Maybe.
I know, a little, but not much.
Well, I mean, I have means of making sure that no one is lying to me, to discern lies and whatnot, but doesn't allow me to see their thoughts. And you said she didn't compel you to speak. You were just thinking
No.
about the inn.
Yes.
Do I have
Well-
any? Sorry.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make an Arcana check for anyone who has the either skill or the ability to cast arcane magics.
No. Okay.
Okay, I'm amazing at that. Can't see shit, but
I don't know if it's part of the druid spell list, but let me take a look.
I mean everything's part of my spell.
Very true.
I'm not sure I have any telepathy-based stuff.
I don't think so. I mean, unless it's with animals, you know.
Right. Right.
So, all right. So Rowan, 21. You know that there are magics that can send messages directly to people's heads.
Yeah,
you've
Rebecca's
heard-
done it to me.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you know things like telepathy exists. The sending stones that you guys have are a different version. There is you've heard from Jared. Let me see here. You heard from Jared that he's known people that could read the thoughts of people, or even understand what their fears were, their motives were. But you don't know it yourself. But it does exist. It's out there.
Gotcha.
Okay. Did you learn? I mean, did you learn anything from your trip to the warehouse? Was it helpful in any way, shape, or form, or do we know what was in these crates?
I don't know what was in the crates. There were 3 of them, and they loaded them on a cart. And then that's when they saw me and then captured me.
Okay. Well, do we have any other, I guess, good news from the day? Since we saw each other this afternoon.
You could say we got some good news. We know what we need to take the other succubus off the board, and it's 2 potential locations. One is I guess 3. It could be on the twins, or at their abode, or it would be with the leader of the Red Blues. And we're looking for a locket. Fairly plain. I think she said brass or bronze. Brass.
Brass. and circular.
said the leader of the Red Plumes?
Uh-huh. She described the gentleman had like a scar, a fairly prominent one,
Over the
And-
right eye.
and peppered hair.
He looks confused as you guys are giving this description. I mean, I've met the leader of the Red Plumes, and I mean, he has some silver streaks in his hair, but his hair is mostly blonde, and I mean, he doesn't have a scar. But anything else about him?
No,
So
so not
salt and
him.
pepper hair with a scar over his right eye.
Does that sound like anybody, if not him?
Somebody from the shadows, maybe?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of guys in the plumes that I know of that have scars. Salt and pepper hair, though. What you said, peppered hair?
Yeah. The player has written peppered hair.
Okay. I mean, there's one potential guy. He's not the leader, but he's a captain inside the Red Plumes. I believe his name is Marcus, but has a really I have not heard nice stories about him. He seems to have a very unpleasant disposition, to put it nicely.
Marcus?
Yeah, that's, I believe, his name. So, I mean, I know some people from the Plumes, but I think if I go make any inquiries right now, that might arouse some suspicions.
Right.
Would you know of a way that we could maybe get to him while he's alone?
I would not know. I would have to see if anybody that I know inside of that organization could tell me if he has, you said, a brass locket, circular locket.
Yeah.
I would have to make some inquiries with them or check with them, but I probably will have to wait until at least tomorrow.
The gentleman who started questioning me before you came in, does he have a connection to anyone in the Red Plumes?
Oh, the corporal?
Yes.
Um, no, I think he had just Wait, was there someone else who questioned Kelnor beforehand? I thought that was Rowan.
One guy took me into the room and then he got reprimanded and chased out.
thought that was Rowan, right?
Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah,
It happened to
Rowan.
Calnoran too.
Yeah, it happened to me too. Yeah.
He got there. They escorted him in.
Oh, no, that was Hulin that talked to you.
Yeah. There was another guy that took me in there first.
Mm. Okay, so yeah, that guy. He's like, no, he didn't have any kind of connections. No.
Oh, he just seemed really like he really liked that part of the job.
Well, given what your friend here had told me when he arrived, we were on a rather high alert, looking for anyone that was coming in asking about him, just making sure that we weren't giving away information to wrong people.
Okay, fine.
He was a bit aggressive, I agree, but probably much more pleasant than what your friend encountered.
Okay. Is there someone that you do know of that has a connection?
Within my people?
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, some of them are friends with individuals in the Red Plume. I mean, when they came back in, they started recruiting individuals from Hillsfar because the Red Plumes are a bit of a, they're the stuff of legend around the city for the most part, regardless of their darker deeds that they've done. They are a source of legendary tales amongst the city. So yes, I'm sure that some of them have friends and acquaintances and whatnot that have joined. Know that some of my guards have even been offered positions inside the organization, but they've chosen to stay with me.
Okay, that would answer my next question. Because if any of them have, say, favorable leanings, we could leak the information that we're looking for this Marcus guy for a particular reason, and it might cause him to make a mistake, and we can get him alone because of it.
So you want to try to lure him out into a position where you can kidnap him?
Well, we need to find out if he has the locket, because if he does, he is working with them. He's in cahoots with the bad guys. And if he's not, well, he'll be hurting for a few days, maybe. I don't have any way to erase memory or anything like that, except knocking him unconscious.
See? Well, I suppose my question to you in this regard, and this kind of leads to a separate point, is how would you go about doing this, given kind of looks over towards Lilith, saying she's a suspect right now, and the guard is looking, the Plumes are looking for her, as well as, I would assume, the rest of you, since you are a known connection of hers.
Right.
What would be your plan of action?
On that front, I don't know. The other option is the only other option we have to try to find this locket is break into their home.
We do know secret. We know someone that knows secret ways into their places.
True.
Rebecca.
Yep.
This is the succubus, the good succubus, or the not bad succubus?
Not bad succubus. Yep.
I'm still on the fence about good or not bad.
Well, I think there's probably a few people in the city that would say the same thing about your
Us?
lot. Yes. Well, whatever means you have to investigate without drawing further attention to yourself, please feel free. At this point, there's nothing I can do to help you.
Maybe
Under-
there is. All right, hear
I'm
me
listening.
out. If we were to try and check in their home to see if the locket is somewhere in the home, what if, a guard captain went to their residence to ask them questions about what happened, to draw their attention to the front door while we're sneaking in the back to search their home?
You want me to go to their home under the guise of questioning about the disturbance that happened outside the gate.
Yeah, like get the information that you would need to look for the escaped prisoners and
Anyone attempting to come back in through the gates?
yeah. I mean, at least if nothing else, at least it makes it look like you're on their side. You're trying to help them.
Okay, there's one small problem. I mean, I'm sure there are others, but the one I can think of is I can't do it today. I don't have
Well-
the ability to dispel magic, and that will be very important because the succubus is going to be with them.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it had to happen today.
Right, but if it gets put off, checking up, having a subordinate check up is going to seem off if it doesn't happen sooner rather than later.
I would agree. If you wish to put any kind of plan into action, you would probably need to do so tomorrow.
If they could read my thoughts, they might be able to read Captain Hoolin's if he's
Right.
Maybe,
thinking
but
anything else. But
I mean,
that's just
maybe,
a-
but they had a reason to read yours.
true.
Well, they have an idea that someone helped us get in.
Okay, then he sends subordinates to do it, and he doesn't do it. I mean, same.
Yeah, I think that might be where that would work. I like the idea.
I mean, a distraction would be nice. I'm just not sure that's the option we should go with.
And as far as like the succubus being there, we know she spends most of the day at the House of Happiness. So it's not like we couldn't be there when she's not there.
We could even check, like, at the House of Happiness first before we go in to make sure she's there. Just ask the person at the front desk, right?
I mean, we do know a way there or near there.
I have a question for the DM.
Mhm.
I don't know. Are succubi capable of teleporting or magic? that would allow transportation to and from a location quickly?
So you're asking if Kerr maybe knows that, or
Yeah.
go ahead and give me religion or arcana check. I'll give you one of those two.
Well, they are the same, so I'll go with Arcana. 11. Almost a 17. That makes me sad.
The only thing that you remember is that you've watched them fade in and out. It's been more of a. It's not necessarily like instantaneous. It's more like they go translucent to transparent. But aside from that, no, you're not. You don't know for certain.
Okay, thank you. I'm not certain, but I saw Rebecca do it once that she might have teleported. It could have been just casting the slowest invisibility ever. But if she can, Shoddy might be able to as well. Which, if that's the case, it doesn't matter if she's at the House of Happiness. She can be at by the side of her masters quickly.
Wouldn't the person with the locket be the master?
Yes. Or no, because if they've got someone just watching it, it doesn't necessarily mean they're the one in charge. But it's a good assumption.
I mean, 'cause I was just thinking, like, if they could summon her there, would that mean they had the locket? So then we have our question answered. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
I don't either. Plus, we're dealing with people that have mind magic. So, do they really need the locket to talk to her?
I don't know. All I know is what happened at the docks. Definitely, I feel like put our mission to go quicker, and I don't feel like we have the luxury of time.
Do we have till dawn?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I thought that we wouldn't necessarily have to go right away to do this, but
Right. Because
my thought is if we take the house and they're at the house, that's two birds, one stone. If it's not at the house and they don't have it, then we know who has it. Whereas if we do it the other way, we know the guard guy doesn't have, or the red plume doesn't have it, but then we still have an option of two people or two places that it is. I don't know.
right. I still can't dispel till tomorrow.
Yeah, that's when I was planning for my plan to go through.
So that's a definite. Then we have to at least wait till tomorrow, or after midnight. Correct?
I need a full night's sleep or a rest.
Yeah.
To be able to recharge my power.
So at least in the morning, before we can.
Right.
I don't know. That's the only idea I have.
I think it's a good idea to have the distraction at the front.
If we're willing to gather up scraps like food scraps, I can get us a distraction. A big one.
That might be more along the lines of asking someone who can walk around the city freely to do.
Okay, so me.
Looks over at Hulin.
Are you asking if I have scraps or if I would?
I mean, I just thought, something you might be able to help with.
Well, I mean, as of tomorrow, I will still be at the gate, maintaining my post in order to not arouse suspicion on myself for this potentially insurrectionist act that they are trying to label it as. I don't know. But if
I
your
can,
companion's looking for meat scraps or pieces of meat, I could certainly assist you with that.
because I can get the strays, birds, the rats. I could potentially convince them to help out.
He'll kind of look towards you, Kelnoran, and you have the ability to change your appearance, if I remember correctly.
Right. So if need be, I can gather the scraps. No one will even know it's me. Well, the twins might if they can see through magic, but no one else will.
And that would probably keep. I mean, that's a good distraction too. That would probably keep Hulin's men out of danger. Too, if something happened and they were still at the door.
Like a full-on assault by nature. That's a big promise, I admit, but hungry animals will do anything for food.
Well, if you believe that that's something that you can do, then I would suggest following through with that as best you can.
Well, and to find the entrance too, we have to have Rebecca, right? To show us where it's at.
Yeah. Or to tell us where it's at.
So we could ask her if about the teleporting back and forth too, because she would know if that's
Okay.
possible. Also, so that's a question we could ask her when we tell her we're ready to go and do it.
I can ask her when I'm getting scraps. So I can just go to the House of Happiness. Which, by the way, it's not a place for good conversation, Kerr says with air quotes.
Hmm?
Yep. When you guys told me that, it was a lie.
Told you what?
It's a place for good conversation.
Who said that?
I mean, not the point. Just, trying to
Yeah, I've had some good
Brighten.
conversations there. I don't know.
less doom and gloom. That's all. I'm sorry. Anyway, do we have any other ideas? Because I need to get started.
I threw mine out already.
Okay. All right. I will be heading out. But before I go, let's let's prepare a little bit for a just in case today. I'm going to drop the bear totem and give everybody in the room the extra hit points. And then I'm going to cast aid at level 4.
All right. And how many people does that hit?
It's only going to hit 3. I will give it to Hulin, Rowan, and Lilith, because I don't know his hardiness, and those are the 2 other squishies.
I'm not that squishy anymore.
Still,
You're squishy.
yep, very much so.
Right, how much does all of this do?
All right, so you should get 25 max HP increase for the next till the next long rest, and I think it's 12 temporary hit points now because it was 11.
It's your
I think.
5 plus your druid level. Yeah.
So yeah, 12.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And then I'll cast Disguise Self and turn myself into like a really fat dwarf.
Why not human? After you've changed.
Oh, just to mix it up, I've done human twice now today.
But town hates all but humans.
Yep. It's still not me. They'll question the dwarf, but not suspect the dwarf because there's no dwarf in our group. So it's just a temporary visitor. And if need be, I can switch out if I get questioned.
He shrugs.
Sorry. Usually when this happens, I get chased out of town and I don't really try to sneak around in it anymore. And we're kind of at that point, like shore faces run away. So just flustered.
Well, very well. Do the group of you have a place that you're staying tonight?
We do not.
I suggest the tunnels. We have sleeping bags or, stuff for camping. It gives us an easy escape in many directions without being confined to a room.
He nods. Seems reasonable. Very well. Well, I wish you luck in out there this evening, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Sounds good.
I should probably exit via the tunnels. Is there a good place for me to get out? Where should I go from here?
I show him the map.
Woo!
I mean, you can find the one that comes out at the House of Happiness. Kind of comes out like outside and kind of near the back of it.
Okay. Then I will head there, especially since it's close.
Yeah, it's not too far.
Do you have a torch or a candle I can borrow?
He's like, well, goes over to a pile where he has some like wood refuse and whatnot. Just kind of wraps some cloth around it real quick, gives it a little bit of oil, and like puts it near the forge that is warming up at this point, and hands it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I will head down.
All right, so we will go ahead and wrap up there. Interesting occurrences. So, and Kelnorn, as you step out, you realize you probably have about an hour to maybe like an hour and 15 minutes of like sunlight left. Maybe an hour and a half.
Okay. I'll be changing soon then.
Yeah. So. All right, so we will go ahead and wrap up there, like I said, and we will come back here in 2 weeks, pick up, and see where it leads us. So thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this session, and if you're watching over on the YouTubes, hit all the buttons, smash all the things, do the stuff. You know the routine. And we will see you next time. Until then, everybody, keep those dice warm and have a good night. Goodbye.
Bye.
Laters.